Hello friends, in this video tutorial I'm going to explain to you how we can create this architectural roof plane. Now most of you might be wondering what is a roof plane. So a roof plane is basically a layout of the roof, its flashings, where you will be having penetrations and what kind of roof you'll actually be putting. Now for this exercise I have chosen a lean-to or a flat roof, not a gable, not a skillet, not a hip and valley roof. And I have set up my page accordingly. I like to use key references for almost everything in my drawings. I also use image referencing, which I have shown in another video as to how we can do image referencing. All elevations of the roof is shown with the building elevations like so. And in the key references, I have done all of my work here previously to make this work easy. I have also explained how to create an architectural table in another video. As you can see, the following DP is downpipe, TV is terminal vents, and this arrow shows the direction of the fall along with the angle of the pitch of the roof, which is 5 degrees for this case. And in this case, I mostly use square line color bond gutters as these have more life to them. So let's begin. Now the first thing that you need to do is to make a copy of your floor plan and place it underneath wherever you're going to plot your roof plane. So in this case, I'll just put it over here like so. Then I'll type REC for rectangle, press enter. And I'll leave it there. Now the next thing that you need to know is the overhang of your roof. Now since I mostly use plyboard, exterior plyboard or any kind of board cladding, I usually divide the width of the board by 2. In this case it's 1.2 meters, or 4 feet divided by 2 will give you 2 feet or 600 mm. So in this case I'll use an offset of 600 mm. Remember, that's inclusive of the fascia board. As you can see, I've done it here. Now what I'll do is I'll copy the dimensions along with the grid lines. Oh wait, first I'll have to delete the existing one that I've done. If I don't need to, I won't have to. I'll just put this one aside for now. And then, in order for me to successfully plot a good roof plan, I'll need to draw out everything that's important here. Wherever there is a restroom, there will be a terminal vent, but now I will not be using a terminal vent which penetrates through the roof. I'll be using a I'll be using a terminal vent which can be used above ground level. So, to create a roof plane outline, you don't have to create much, you just have to copy your grids like so. Then you select on the roof outline only. Don't worry about the gutters. Copy from your original base point and then place it over where you have set up your works like so. Now this is no longer important to us, so what we can do is simply delete this. And we'll bring up our roof that we had drawn earlier and use that as our reference. Now there isn't much referencing, so what you can do is you can simply create your own. The only thing that's important here is the reference, and the key is the arrow symbol with the fold angle along with the outline of the building. So what I'll do is I'll copy outline of the building to one side using the copy command. First I'll select them both, then I'll copy and paste them into the relevant spaces. Now I had decided to give my roof fall towards this side. Let's refer to our elevations. Now my roof fall will be away from the washroom side. and into the kitchen and the bedroom side. So I'll put my folds accordingly. So basically what I'll do is I'll just select this and then I'll mirror them, and I'll center it accordingly and just copy these guys and place them at consistent distance. Now a lean-to roof is far more material saving than a gable or a bourre type or a thatch type roof, as it has limited members to do work with, and the engineering too is easy for it. So the next thing I'll do is I'll basically delete this outline because it's no longer important. Then I'll copy the outline of existing building, or you can type your own. And how to type in the words, how to type the text and create the text I've already shown in another video. So basically what I do, I don't like them to cross any of my lines, so I keep them one side. Remember to be consistent with the work, and whatever you have done on this side should be similar to the other side. So I'll do that. Then I'll copy one of these. I'll change the rotation, the view direction of these, simply by clicking on the text, clicking on the properties, and then changing the rotation so that it matches to the other side. So in this case I'll use 180 degrees and I get the desired view that I need, which is this. One is facing this way, the other one's facing this way, easy for referencing. Then basically I'll just copy and paste my text here like so. Click and then rotate. And that's it. And just give it a bit of space so that it's not sitting exactly on the outline. Similarly, mirror everything so that they sit consistent. If you cannot find a center point by trying to plot with this, you can just do M2P, that's mirror to point. Click on one point, click on the other point, and it will give you the center. And that should be it, outline of the building. Now the next thing that you need to do is switch off all the unnecessary layers, and before that we'll put this in its respective layer, or we don't have to as it's already in the respective layer. Now we'll just switch off the unnecessary layers for the time being, and then we'll do our hatches. So for the hatch of the roof, what I'll simply do is I'll show you two options. One, you can match this property and bring it over here exactly. So basically to do that, you type H for hatch, then click on settings, then click on inherit properties, click on the roof pattern that you wish to use, and just paste them there like so. Click 1, DR for draw order, and send the hatch back. Now the other thing you can do is simply create your own hatch, which is simply by typing H for hatch, then press enter. So after turning off the layer for the unnecessary items, what you will need to do is set up your hatch. Now I've already shown hatch in option number 1. Let me show you how to do another hatch. Now this is a longer process. So what you do is you type H for hatch, press enter, then select the hatch, this hatch over here, that's ANS132. Don't worry about the angle now, and click it in there. So as you can see that it has already drawn that for me because I had already set it up by default. But when you actually select this hatch and you bring it over here, this will be to an angle which you can change over here by either dragging this or you can just simply click on your hatch, enter your value here, or by dragging this one. Now the next thing that you'll need to do is click on the hatch and put its background to 255 white. Remember, 255 white will not print, it's always used as a background. So that's your second way of creating the hedge. Now that you have created the hedge, type PL for polyline and keep it in the roof layer. Then draw an outline away from your gutters, because this is going to be the flashing. Then you can temporarily move this away, move the hedge away at a distance that you think is right. In this case, I'll use 50,000, and I'll do an offset of the polyline that I drew to 150. That's all for offset, then type 150, okay. Then close off that line like so. Now if you have selection cycling turned on, your drafting might be a bit slow, so if you do not like it, you can just switch it off, because it will start to ask you questions like so as to what it should actually select. So whichever one of these you hover your mouse on, it will select that. In this case, I do not want to select the outline of the roof. I wish to select the polyline as is due. And type J for join and press enter. Then simply type H for H again. And in my case, I usually put a gray color as my flashing H, and then click it OK. Now the next thing that I'll do is click the H and move it in at a distance of 50,000 millimeters, which I had used earlier. Select this, type DR for draw order, and then send it back. Now I'll turn on my gutters layer. Type REC for rectangle. Ensure to get your distance. In this case, it was 13.4. And then just enter a distance of 150 mm and press enter. And it has drawn you a perfect gutter, 150 by the length of the roof. Now type C for circle, then enter a distance of, enter a radius or a diameter. In this case, I'll select the circle, then I'll use the center diameter. The center diameter will be 75. This is the downpipe. You can check the dimensions that you have just drawn by typing DI. Now move this up here. Don't worry about the placing. Then move it and make it flush over here like so. Then from the center, offset, move it to a distance of 600 mm. Press OK. Now turn on your texts. Turn on the texts layer. You basically just turn on all the layers now, because you don't need to worry about anything else. Copy one of the texts, do not create a new one. Bring it down to that line, double click, select all, and type in small letters DP, that's downpipe. Now basically you will select both and then you will mirror them into another place. Now in the previous time I had set up the outline of my building in the wrong place, so I'll just move them out where they should be. And that's basically your roof plan nearly completed. Now the next thing that I'll do is basically I'll draw my dimensions of the roof overhang. First I'll set up my scale, then I'll change my scale over here to whatever the corresponding scale was. Then I'll make this layer current, the dimension layer current, and then I'll do my offsets like so. Similarly, I'll do that one over here. And if you wish, you can also place one over here. Now the framing aspect of this roof will be displayed in the structural drawings, which will be done in future videos. You do not need to dimension the gutters because that's already noted over here. This is the length that you will follow together with the corresponding sizes. So the next thing that you will do is copy one or create your own multi-leader and just paste them out here. And in this case, number one is a 200 mm by 20 mm face about painted display architect's instructions. Number two will be the color bond fleshing. So we'll basically just copy this one out slightly, click on that multi-leader, click on the dot and just center this like so. We'll change this to number 2. Now number 3 is a 75 by 75 mm diameter terminal vent, which will not be shown in this exercise because I'm using one of the other terminal vents. Now the next thing that I'll do is the downpipe. So basically I'll just bring down my text, my multi-leader, and just paste them in the center like so. I'll add another leader and just so that they are sitting in like so. Once you do one, you can move this one up, or you don't have to because there's only one set of downpipes here. So that's number 4. Now the next thing that we'll see is the actual color bond gutter. So that's number 5. So basically what we can do is copy one of the arrowed ones, bring them down, place them at a bit of a distance and click on the arrow and bring them up. Draw an X line, click on your leader, click on this point and just fix that over there. And you can move them out here like so. Click on this arrow and make it flush like so. And that would be number 5. Now the next thing that we'll do is, that's our roof cladding. So basically I'll just copy this, just bring it down slightly. Bring that in the middle and then change its number to number 6. Right? So that's number 6. Now number 7 is a parapet wall, which we will not be using in this exercise. So let's leave it as it is. Okay. Now what we'll do is we'll go to our roof plan page that we had started the plotting area. And as you can see that this has already started to take its shape. And what we'll do is basically set up our scale. Now if your grid lines and your dimensions are not showing, but when you hover amongst them they show up like this, just type RE for regenerate and press enter. And that's it. So basically I'm happy with the 1:80 scale, so I'll leave it there for now. And I can see that my texts are not showing up. So whatever scale I've set up here, I'll need to go and put them in these multi-leaders like so. So for this case, what I'll do is simply select the leaders, subject leaders. Then I'll add a scale. I'll put 1:80. Click on OK. When you do that, most of your leaders will shift out of line. So what you can do is draw a construction line and just bring the ones that are out of line into place. In this case, it's leader number 5. I'll bring them there like so, or you can also bring it here like so. Now while drafting, you also have to be careful what keys you press. If you press F1 instead of escape, you will get a help window. This tends to become a bit annoying, but you have to deal with it. Now all my M texts currently are set at a wrong scale, which is why they are not showing up in the layout. So what I'll do is simply select all of them accordingly and click them here, click on properties and change the layers. Delete the unnecessary scale and click on OK. They will all move in a consistent pattern, so you do not need to shift and align them. Now this scale I believe is already set to this, this text is already set to the scale that I require, so that's alright. Now when we go to our roof plane, we will see that everything is showing up, inclusive of the building, all the texts and the dimensions. So as I had said that we will not be using this one because currently I do not have an image, so I'll xref it later into this area when I'm plotting the drawings to of the final stage. So the next thing that we can do is basically just bring up this call out. It's too far down. It's a proposed roof plane. Change the scale. I'm using 1:80 over here. So I'll just change that to 1:80. And anything that you do, any page that you set up for an A3, any scale that you set up for an A3 will be divided by 2 for A1. So in this case, the scale for A1 is 1:40 and the scale for A3 is 1:80. Click on apply, click on OK. And that's it. The elevations are already set up in the elevations. And just check one more time if these are okay or not. Set up all of these areas as I've shown in other videos. Set up your title block, your business name, or if you're doing something for someone, set up your sheet title. You don't have to set up each and everything. Just double click on one of the texts and you can edit each and every item in one place. This is called attribute definition. And I've also shown how to do this in another video. Once you think that your drawings are ready, what you can do is basically do a quick plot by doing Ctrl P. Plot your drawings. Give it any name that you wish. Check your drawings for mistake. In this case, I don't have any mistakes in these drawings. Close it and you're good. So that's all for this video on how to draw a roof plane. In the next video, I'll show you guys how to draw these schedules. There are two schedules in an architectural drawing. One is a door schedule that shows each and every type of door that you're using in the building along with all its respective locks and architectural hardwares, and a table that shows the kind of finishing. So let's say door 1 is 40 mm thick solid core door with 6 mm exterior plywood from both sides, and then the door finish is spray paint finish. And the other one is a window schedule that is something basic like this, and you use everything that I've shown there except you do not show your locks over here. You can show your cream safe mesh, you can show your wind velocity directions, you can also show the kind of hardware that you wish to use. Thank you very much for watching my video. If you like the contents of this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any queries or questions regarding the contents that I have just done, please let me know via comments. Thank you very much.